Abe, wake up. Trump has started another tariff war with another major U.S. ally. Okay, dear. Man, it's been like a week, barely a week, and I'm tired. So, just about 10 hours ago, as of recording this, Donald Trump has announced some new tariffs. Let's watch.
Particularly in the very near future, we're going to be placing tariffs on foreign production of computer chips, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals to return production of these essential goods to the United States of America. They left us and they went to Taiwan, which is about 98% of the chip business, by the way. And we want them to come back, and we don't want to give them billions of dollars like this ridiculous program that Biden has. Give everybody billions of dollars. They already have billions of dollars. They've got nothing but money, Joe. They didn't need money. They needed an incentive. And the incentive is going to be they're not going to want to pay a 25, 50, or even 100% tax. They're going to build their factory with their own money. We don't have to give them money. They're going to come in because it's good for them to come in. They're giving them money. They don't even know what they're going to do with it. I had people tell me, we have no idea. We didn't need money. They don't know if they're probably going to use the money to build in other places, other countries. It's a ridiculous plan, very expensive and ridiculous. The only way you'll get out of this is to build your plant. If you want to stop paying the taxes or the tariffs, you have to build your plant right here in America. That's what's going to happen at record levels. We're going to have more plants built in the next short period of time than anybody ever envisioned before, because the incentive is going to be there, because they have no tariff whatsoever. In fact, they have help from us if they build their plant in America.
So, yeah, so I don't know if he mentioned it there, but they're also, so it's going to be 25% to 100% tariffs on semiconductors and pharmaceuticals from Taiwan. So I couldn't find a list of exact like drugs or pharmaceuticals that we import from Taiwan, but if only, you know, it's like he's obsessed with bad policy. So not only are drug prices going up because of the Biden executive order that he rescinded, now we're probably going to see some drug prices going up for tariffs. And don't even get me started on computer parts. So when we say semiconductors, we're talking about, you know, your processors and your computer and your phone. And with so much smart technology, pretty much just about everything has some sort of computer chip in it. And these tariffs are going to be from 25 to 100%. And this isn't a tax on those companies. This isn't a tax on Taiwan. This is a tax on us, because the consumers are going to be the ones that have to pay that increased cost. And he says that, you know, it's an incentive. If it's an incentive, we don't need to give them money or subsidies. We just need to threaten to tax them, even though you're not really taxing them. You're just taxing us. So I have some clips, or sorry, snippets from some other articles here that I wanted to share. So Trump criticized leading U.S. tech companies such as Apple, AMD, Broadcom, NVIDIA, Qualcomm for building their processors at TSMC in Taiwan. He emphasized that the proposed tariffs would leave companies with no choice but to invest in domestic production facilities to avoid high taxes. He also argued that government grants like the CHIPS Act, a very good bill passed by the Biden presidency, are unnecessary and counterproductive, and companies should use their own resources to build fabs rather than rely on public funding. So, you know, that all sounds good, but why aren't you consistent with this message? You're going to, not yet, but I have a feeling that there's going to be a bill or some kind of new tax plan proposed where we're going to give billionaires tremendous tax cuts just like your first term. And for what? What, so they can expand, so they can grow? They already have money. They're already making record profits. Why do they need public funding? Because a tax cut is public funding, whether you like it or not. So, also, when you're gonna put tariffs, I'm not against tariffs across the board, okay? I'm against tariffs when they're retarded, and these are retarded. So, when you have tariffs, you want to incentivize domestic production, like he's claiming here, but you need to have the domestic capabilities to do that. And right now, we do not have the domestic capabilities to do that. Let's continue reading. However, fabs take years to build, and leading edge fab costs tens of billions of dollars. Even if TSMC were to start constructing a sub 2 nanometer capable fab in the US today, it would come only in 2028 to 2029, assuming that Trump's administration imposes tariffs on ASICs, CPUs, GPUs, and other types of chips made in Taiwan in the coming weeks. This would make PCs, servers, and smartphones more expensive for companies and individuals in the US immediately. What a great tariff to propose a week after you announce this big 500 billion Stargate project with AI that's also just got humiliated by China and the AI the open source AI they just released. So keep that in mind. It's like these people don't think. So AI requires a lot of power, a lot of these things called computer chips. And now you're making them more expensive. This would, trying to find where I left off. So basically, yeah, it makes computers, smartphones, all that more expensive. So to avoid this, the administration would need to introduce exemptions just like it did with China-made graphics cards and motherboards years ago. So we'll have to see if they do have any exemptions there. Still, tariffs and exemptions are good leverage to make companies like Apple, AMD, Nvidia, and TSMC invest in America and build a significant percentage of their chips in the US. Yeah, but as we just read, these fabs, these factories to produce these chips take a lot of money and a lot of years to build. So in the 4 or 5 years it would take us to build more factories to produce these, the consumer is going to be paying 25 to 100% more for computers, computer parts, smartphones. As I said, a lot of things are smart technology nowadays and have some sort of chip in them. So just keep that in mind. The proposed tariffs mark a significant shift in U.S. trade policy, signaling an aggressive stance to curb dependence on foreign manufacturing and prioritize domestic production, but it remains to see how well this strategy will work. Oh, also, chips made in the U.S. are more expensive than chips made in Taiwan, mind you. So even if we did have like 100% domestic production, which we don't, they'd still be more expensive for the consumer. But I'm all for more domestic production and bringing production capabilities back here, but you invest in it first through subsidies like the CHIP Act, very successful, as we're going to read here in a second, and making sure you have the capability to produce domestically. Then you can put your tariffs to incentivize buying within the US. Right now, you're just making everyone pay more for nothing. So, thanks to incentives rather than tariffs, the SIA said this month that the CHIPS and Science Act is on track to strengthen American manufacturing, create jobs, boost economic growth, and promote national security. The Act's manufacturing incentives have sparked substantial announced investments in the U.S., the group said. In fact, companies in the semiconductor ecosystem have announced 90 projects across 28 U.S. states, totaling hundreds of billions of dollars in private investments since the CHIPS and Science Act was introduced. These announced projects will create more than 58,000 jobs in the semiconductor ecosystem and support hundreds of thousands of additional U.S. jobs throughout the U.S. economy. So yeah, you want to incentivize these companies to come here. You don't incentivize them by slapping 25 to 100% tariffs on them. I have a feeling that this isn't going to work out, and a lot of prices are about to go up, and it's ridiculous. It's like it's been 8 days and we've already started 2 trade wars with major U.S. allies. I don't know, man. Like this is not how you do it. This is not how you do it. This is not how you do it. It's ridiculous. And who says they're not just going to go? This is a trick that China pulled to avoid tariffs that we've put on, tariffs and sanctions we've put on. What if they just move production to a different country? What if they do that? What are you going to do then? What if this doesn't incentivize them to move over here? What if it pushes them further away? What if it pushes, you're just pushing our allies away and making us so unreliable and a joke on the world stage? I don't know. So just to drop some fact bombs on you. In 2021, about 44.2% of U.S. imports of chips were manufactured in Taiwan. 44%. I'm assuming it's probably around the same now, but at least 44% of products you can expect to go up 25 to 100% because domestically we can only produce, I think, 11% of the total amount of chips that like the US uses on a yearly basis. So yeah, until then we're fucked. Unless there's some kind of exemption, but I doubt it. Anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next trade war. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below. And if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.